Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inshallah, today we will continue our topic in the last portion of chapter 3, which is about the tawabe, nouns which follow other nouns. So, nouns which follow other nouns, and there were 5 categories. If you remember, and or mnemonic, not bad. Remember, not or man'ut or sif mawsuf, tt for ta'kid, at-ta'kid and tawkid, and bad for badr, which we talked about before. And today we're going to talk about the two ataf that follow. Atful biharfin, which is atful nasaqi, and atful bayan. So that's what we're going to talk about today and finish this chapter, inshallah. So here it is. So first we're going to talk about al-atfu biharfin or atfu nasaqi, and this is on page 105 in my textbook. So first let's define what this is. In English we simply call this conjunction. In English we call this conjunction. Conjunctions. Okay. So what is atful biharfin or atful nasaqi? Okay. It is that tabi'un that's a ba tabi'un. It is that tabi'un which appears, okay, after harfu ataf. Harfu atfin. It appears after harfu atfin. Okay, so it's that tabi which occurs after harfu ataf. Now the harfu ataf appears between the tabi and the matbu. Okay, so this appears. Let me just put it over there. So harfu ataf, harfu atfin appears between the tabi and the matbu'un. Okay, you get the idea, right? Maybe I could not be lazy. Write it neatly. Matbu'un. So it appears between tabi and the matbu. Okay. The meaning of the amil applicable to the matbu is also applicable to the tabi. Okay. This is important. Okay. Now the meaning of the amil. So the meaning of the amil applicable to the matbu. Let's use this one. Matbu'un. Okay, is also applicable to the tabi, to the tabi'un. Okay, so the tabi is called. Okay, so let's give an example first. Okay, so ja'a zaydun wa amrun. Okay, ja'a zaydun wa amrun. So here's waw, which is the conjunction, right? So waw is the conjunction here. Okay, so we'll say this is the harfu ataf. Okay, this is harfu atfin. So waw is the harfu atfin. Okay, so and amrun here is the ma'tuf. Ma'tufun. Okay, which is the tabi. Okay, so this is the tabi, words that's following, right? Tabi'un. Okay, it's called a ma'tuf, and what it follows is called ma'tufin. So Zayd here is ma'tufun. معطوف 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 عليه. Let me make sure that this is clear here. So Zayd is just simply معطوف معطوف عليه. Let's say عين عليه. Okay, it is معطوف عليه. Okay, so that's the ta'be, and this is of course the معطوف. That matbu, I meant to say matbu'un. Okay, so in this case tab is the follower, right, and what's being followed is matbu. So harf ataf, ma'atuf, and ma'atufun alayh. So this tab is called ma'atuf, and what it follows, the ma'atuf, is called ma'atufun alayh. So harf ataf is the conjunction. Harf ataf is the conjunction, or harf ataf, and it connects these two. And whatever the amil, so the amil in this case is ja'a, right? So ja'a Zaydun. Zaydun came, and Amr. So Amr and Zayd, they both came, right? So that's what that means. So here, let's analyze the sentence here. So ja'a here would be fi'l, okay? And both of these, Zaydun here, these would be the fa'il. They both are fa'il, and together would be jumla JFK, jumla fi'liya khabariya. Okay, so that's how that would be. And Zayd and Amr came. So this is translated as Zayd and Amr came. Okay, so they both came. So that's harfu ataf, conjunction. Okay, so there are various huruf atfin. So there are various huruf atfin. So huruf al-atfi. So huruf plural, huruf al-atfi. Huruf al-atfi. Okay, so the various types of huruf al-atfi. Okay, so what are they? Okay, the various type of huruf al-atfi are as follows. We'll just write them over here. Okay, there is waw, which is and. There is fa, and then there's summa, and there's hatta, hatta, imma. Okay, so waw, fa, summa, and then maybe I'll write the imma down here. Imma. Okay. Oh, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 of them, so maybe I'll do 5 per line. Hatta, and then imma. So this is imma. That's 5, and then al, which means or, right? Okay, and then la, and then bal, and then lakin. Okay, so it's lakin. Okay, so these are the huruf al-atf. Okay, their details are as follows. Okay, so their details, we're going to talk about each of them sequentially. Okay, so let's talk about waw first. So waw. Okay, so waw, which means and. Okay, this is without regard to sequence. This is very important. Without regard to sequence. Okay, so ja'a zaydun wa bakrun. Okay, here the sequence is not considered. So in this example that we have given, ja'a zaydun wa amrun, the sequence is not considered. Okay, that means we don't know who came first. They both came. We don't know who came first. Okay, so let's the example that was given here. Let's just write the example that they're given here is ja'a. Okay, zaydun wa bakrun. Okay, so the sequence is not considered. Zayd and Bakr came. Okay, um, so Zayd and Bakr came. Sequence is not considered. Maybe Bakr came first or something. You know what I'm saying? Okay, and then the next one is fa. Okay, which means then or does. It means then or does. Okay, so here it shows sequence. It shows sequence. So that's very important. Ja'a Zaydun fa Bakrun. So we have Ja'a Zaydun, okay, and fa Bakrun. Bakrun. Then Bakr came. Okay, so this would be translated as Zayd came, then Bakr came. Okay, so this would be Zayd came, then Bakr came. This is Bakr here. Okay, Zayd came and then the Bakr came. So this is a sequence that's important. It can also show cause. Okay, it can also show, this is kind of important, so maybe we have different handwriting here. It can also show cause. Okay, so that's important. So أنزل من السماء ماء فتصبح الأرض مخضرة. Okay, so let me write this ayah. Okay, so here it says over here, أنزل من السماء ماء. Okay, he sends, okay, down water from the sky. He sends down water from the sky. Okay, therefore, so it's like therefore, let's put it green like this. Therefore, okay, the earth becomes green. Becomes green. So the fa is then and does. Okay, so it has these two meanings. So it shows sequence and it can show the cause. Therefore, it becomes anzala min as-sama'i ma'an, and he sends down water from the sky. Fa tusbihal ardu, then the earth becomes mukhdarratan, green. Okay, luscious green. So those are two key points over here, that it shows sequence fa and it can shows also causation. Okay, so that's fa. And then thumma, so the next one is fa thumma. So let's keep going over here. Okay, thumma. Summa means then. Okay. Summa means then. Alright. So it shows sequence with delay. Shows sequence. Shows sequence. Okay. But with delay. with a slight delay, with some time. Okay, it shows sequence with delay. All right. Um, so جاء زيد ثم بكر. Okay. So here's the example. جاء زيد ثم بكر. So Zaid came, okay, and then, okay, after some time, Bakr came. Okay, so جاء زيد فبكر is, it says Zaid came, then Bakr came. جاء زيد ثم بكر, Zaid came, and after some time, Bakr came. Okay, so that's a very critical difference about the summa being the delay over here. Okay, that's very important. All right, hatta up to till even hatta, hatta, right? So, and then the next one is hatta, hatta with makhsura there, which means up to, until, even. Okay, so it shows the end point. Okay, it shows the end point. It shows the end point. Okay, so there's some examples given which I shall write. Okay, so here it is. So قرأت القرآن حتى آخره. I read the Quran until the end. So this is like until the end. I read the Quran until the end. قدم الحجاج حتى مشاة. حتى المشاة. Okay, قدم, the pilgrims came. So this is the pilgrims came. Even those on foot. حتى, even those on foot. Okay, this is I read the Quran until the end. Okay, so that's that. I read the Quran until the end. قرأت القرآن حتى آخره. قدم الحجاج. Here حتى means even, like even those on foot. Here means until. Okay, so hatta has those meanings. Okay, the next one is imma. Okay, so this is imma. Okay, so imma. Okay, imma means either or. Either or. Alright, so example. I'll write the example. الثمر إما حلو وإما مر. Okay, حلو is sweet. Murrun is bitter. Okay. So the fruit is either sweet or bitter. Okay, either or. Okay, الثمر إما حلو وإما مر. حلو وإما مر. Okay, so that's that. And then the next, so we did the first line here, so maybe we can start the second line like over here. So we have أو, أو, which means or. Okay, so or. Now what is or? Example. Okay, I'll write the example. Here it is. لبثنا يوما or بعض يوم. Okay, so we stayed for a day or part of a day. So here that's oh. labisna yawman or ba'da yawman, or part of a day. So that's O. And then there's okay. Is also or, okay. It is generally used with the interrogative, okay. Generally used with and interrogative. Interrogative. That is istifham. 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 Seeking understanding. Istifham. Okay, so istifham. So I'll write the example. Here's this. Zaydun indaka am bakrun? I don't think there's question mark in classical Arabic, but Zaydun indaka am bakrun? Is Zayd with you or Bakr? Okay. Is Zayd with you or Bakr? Okay. So it's all means or, is used with interrogative. Okay. Okay. The next one, moving right along, is la, which means not. Okay. So la, this negates from the ma'tuf that which has been established for the ma'tufun ilay. Okay, so this negates. Okay, so this negates from the ma'tuf. Okay, this negates from the ma'tuf that which has been established for the ma'tuf ilay. Ma'tuf alayhi. Ma'tufun alayhi. That means it takes away from the ma'tuf what has been attributed to ma'tuf alayhi. Okay. So example. I'll write this example. Ja'ani Zaydun. Ja'ani Zaydun. Okay. And then la Bakrun. Okay. Zayd came to me and not Bakr. Zayd came to me, okay, and not Bakr. Okay, so that's how. So it negates from the ma'tuf, okay, that which has been established for the ma'tuf alay. So it takes away the, you get the idea. Okay, la. And then the next one is bal. So bal has multiple meanings. Means but, instead, rather. Okay, so it has all these meanings. Okay, so but it is used for idrabun, that is to give up one opinion for another. It is used for, fancy term, different color, idrab. Idrab. Okay, it's used for idrab. Okay, that is I'll say here. Okay, to give up one notion, to give up one notion for another. Okay, so that is kind of important. Okay, but if it appears after a positive statement or a command, it negates the ruling for that which is before it and affirms it for that which is after it. Okay, so this is a fancy statement. Hopefully, it will make better sense with an example. So let me. We're gonna need some room over here. Okay, so there are like two scenarios here. Okay, first scenario. Okay, if it appears. Okay, if it appears. Okay, after a positive statement. After a positive sentence. Okay, which is a job, and we have heard this term before. Okay, a job, like ma'jub, right? A job. If it appears after a positive, it means or a command, Okay, let me write that. Amrun. If it appears after positive statement or a command, okay, it negates the ruling. It negates the ruling. Okay, it negates the ruling for that. Okay, it negates the ruling for that. Okay, which came before it. Okay, and affirms. And affirms. And affirms. Okay. Affirms it for that which came after it. Okay, example please. Oh, here it is. 1 second. So think about it. How would we translate this sentence? Ja'ani Zaydun bal Bakrun. Zayd came to me, rather Bakr. Okay, so this is translated as Zayd came to me. Zayd came to me. That's okay. But and then there's bal. Okay, or rather. Okay, rather, Bakr came. Okay, so that's like that's so you made a mistake. Zadin said no, Bakr actually came. Okay, so this was a positive statement. Jani Zaidun bal Bakr. Okay, it negates the ruling for which it came before and affirms it for the next one. So this bal here. Okay, so this bal here, it negates this till here, and it affirms it for what came after it. Okay, so it negates that and it affirms what came after it. Negates ja'ani too for Zaydun, but affirms it for what came after it. Now, if on the other hand, okay, so let's talk about the second scenario. The second scenario is right here. If, on the other hand, okay, if it appears after a nafi or nahi, if it appears after a nafi, okay, if it appears after a nafyun, okay, or a nahyun, if it appears after nafyun or a nahyun, okay, it confirms, okay, okay, wait, let's write this. It confirms, okay, let's see, sorry, it confirms this ruling of the negation for the one before it. For the one before it. Okay? For the one before it. And, okay, and affirms its opposite okay, opposite of negation, that is opposite of negation, okay, for the one after it. Okay, example please. Okay, so let's ما قرأت الكتاب كله بل بعضه. Okay, so it is, first of all, we have to understand that this is a negative statement. Okay, um, this is a nafi, right? So first we have to understand this is a ما قرأت. This is a nafi statement. ما قرأت الكتاب. Okay, so it confirms this ruling. So it just, Bal says, it confirms this ruling. Okay, so it confirms this ruling. Okay, in the negative for the one before it, and affirms the opposite, for the second one. So basically it affirms both of them. Like ما قرأت كتاب كله. I did not read the whole book, but I read part of it. So which is basically supporting, right? So Jani Zaydun bal Bakrun. Here Zayd came to me. No, rather Bakr came to me. Okay. So here you can see how it is saying, like, he didn't come but he came, but here's is confirming both. So I think this kind of makes sense once the most important thing here is if it starts with a negative sentence or not. It has a difference in the meaning over here. And finally, the last one of these harf ataf is this one over here, which is lakin. Okay, lakin. Okay, lakin means but, however. Okay, all right. So lakin means that it is generally used with a nafi. Okay, it is generally used with nafi. Nafyun comes with its nephew. Nafyun. It is generally used with nafi and serves the purpose of istidrak, that is to rectify. Okay, and it's a cool word. And serves the purpose of, here's a fancy word coming up. Okay, istidrak. Okay, istidrak. I should write that neatly because it's kind of an important word. So istidrak. Okay, istidrak. Okay, means to rectify. Okay, example coming up. Okay, so here it is. ما جاءني زيد لكن بكر جاء. Zayd did not come to me, but Bakr did. Okay, so there are three notes here. Let's see, I don't know where I have the room. Here, I have to find some room. There are three additional points made over here. Maybe I could squeeze these notes over here, okay? So notes. Okay? Number one, okay? Let me read this. If the معطوف عليه is ضمير مرفوع متصل, then it is ضمير منفصل, has to be mentioned after it. Okay, let me write this down. Okay, if the معطوف عليه, what's being followed? Okay, if معطوف عليه is ضمير مرفوع متصل. Okay, fancy. If it is ضمير, it's ضمير مرفوع متصل. Okay, if the معطوف عليه is الضمير مرفوع متصل, Okay, then let me put this if then, right? So I put this if then it's damir munfasil. It's damir munfasilun. Damirun munfasilun. Okay, damirun munfasilun has to be mentioned after it. Okay, has to be mentioned after it. Okay, so example please. Here it is. Darabtu. Okay, darabtu was Zaydan. I hit. Darabtu. There's a darabtu. Here's the thing. I guess it's a very tricky situation. Ana wa Zaydun. Okay. Now, this is interesting. See, here's the ataf, right? And it's the ataf, matuf, and the matufin alayhi. Okay, the Zayd is being followed. Okay, I hit was Zaydun, and Zayd hit. Okay, darabtu was Zaydun. I hit and Zayd hit. Okay, but here the maltuf is over here. Okay, it is damir marfu muttasil, it's attached, right? It's damir marfu muttasil, it's attached. So in this case, you have to put the damir munfasilun after it over here. Okay, so damir munfasilun over here. Okay, right after it. Okay, so this has to be added. Darabtu ana wa Zaydun. So if the mawtufun alayhi is a damiru marfu'un muttasilun, okay, that's going to be, it's basically it's going to be part of the verb. If that's the case, then its damir munfasilun has to be added, mentioned right after. Darabtu ana wa Zaydun. Okay, so Zaydun I hit. Okay, so that's number one. Okay, rule number two says, however, okay, there's a however. Okay, however, okay, if after the damir marfu muttasilun another word appears before the ma'tuf, then the damir munfasil need not be brought. Okay, if, in other words, if there's a word after it, you don't have to do that. If after the damir marfu muttasilun. Okay, if after another word appears, okay, another word appears, okay, before the ma'tuf, okay, before the ma'tuf, okay, then the damir munfasil need not be brought. Okay, then the damir munfasil munfasilun need not be brought. Okay, example. So here it is. However, after if the damir marfu muttasilun another word appears before the ma'tuf, then the damir munfasil need not be brought. So darabtu yoma wa zaydun. So this word, the yoma, is there. It appears between the damir marfu muttasil and the ma'tuf. So the ana does not have to be brought. So you don't have to darabtu ana yoma wa zaydun. You say darabtu yoma wa zaydun. Okay, which you have this Zayd and I hit today. So it's like Zayd and I hit today. Okay, so that's that. Ma ashrakna wala aba'ana. So this la came before, between between the damirun marfun muttasilun and the ma'tufun, so you don't have to bring the damir munfasilun. Okay, neither us nor our forefather associated partners. So neither us nor our forefathers associated partners. Okay, so that's that example. There's only one more point to be added, noted here, which I'll try to squeeze in. If the ma'tufun alayh is damir preceded by a harf jar, then the ma'tuf should also be preceded by the same harf jar. Okay, that sounds okay. So if the ma'tufun alayhi, if the ma'tuf alayhi, okay, is preceded by harf jar, okay, harfu jarrin, preceded by harf jar, okay, then the ma'tuf okay, should also be preceded by the same harf jar, okay, should also be preceded by the same harf jar, okay. Example. All right, so let's see if I could squeeze there. I'll put the example here, okay. So marartu bika wa bi zaydin. Okay, see? So in this case you have marartu, there's the bika here, okay. Marartu bika harf jar, okay, that's ma'tufun alayh, has preceded by harf jar ba, so it's also a ma'tuf is also preceded by the harf jar ba, like that. So that's the notes, and that completes this section. Okay, so I'm actually going to just review this section, and we'll go on to the next section in a little bit here. Okay, so here it is. So ataf biharfin, and which is also ataf nasakhin. These are conjunctions. There's ataf. It is a tabi which appears after harful ataf. Harful ataf appear between the tabi and the ma'tuf. The meaning of the amil applicable to the ma'tuf will also be applicable to the tabi. Okay. So the example given is ja'a zaydun wa amrun. Okay. And so in this case, harfu ataf is waw, and amrun is ma'tuf, and zaydun is ma'tufun alayhi, and ma'tuf is tabi, and ma'tufun alayhi is matbu. Zayd and amr came, and these are the harfu ataf. We talked about waw, fa, wa, fa, thumma, hatta, imma, aw, la, bal, lakin. So waw, which means and, is connection without regard to sequence. Okay, waw occurs without regard to sequence. Ja'a Zaydun wa Bakr. Zayd came and Bakr came. Sequence is not considered. Unlike, and then fa, then and thus, it shows sequence. Ja'a Zaydun fa Bakr. Zayd came, then Bakr came. It can also be used to show cause. So as in anzala min as-sama'i ma'an fa tusbihul ardu mukhdarratun. It's he sends down water from the sky, therefore the earth becomes green. So it should be cause. And then summa means then. It shows sequence with a delay. Ja'a Zaydun summa Bakrun. Zayd came, then after some time Bakr came. Hatta means up to, until, or even. It shows the end point. قرأت القرآن حتى آخره. I read the Quran until the end. خدم الحجاج حتى مشاة. The pilgrims came, even those on foot. And then imma, either or. الثمر إما حلو وإما مر. Okay. The fruit is either sweet or bitter. Okay. and then has another list over here, which goes on this side. Okay. Okay. Oh, which means or. Labisna yoman or ba'da yoman. Okay, we stayed for a day or part of a day. Means or, but it's usually used as an interrogative in istifham. Azaydu indaka bakrun. Is Zayd with you or Bakr? La means not. This negates from the ma'tuf that which has been established for the ma'tufun alayh. Ja'ani Zaydun la Bakrun. Zayd came to me and not Bakr. Bal. Bal is important because the meaning of bal is slightly different. It's a positive versus a negative statement. Bal means but rather, but instead or rather, it is used for idrabun, to give up one notion for another. So it is used for idrab. This is an important word, idrabun, to give up one notion for another. It appears after positive a statement which is ijabun if it appears before a positive statement, or a command. If it appears after a positive statement or command, amrun, it negates the ruling for that which came before it and affirms it for that which came after it. Ja'ani Zaydun bal Bakrun means Zayd, Ja'ani Zaydun. Zayd came to me. No, rather Bakr came. Okay, but if appears after a nafyun or nahyun, it affirms this ruling of the negative for the book came before it, and it affirms its opposite to what comes after it. So ma qara'tu kitaba kullahu, bal ba'dahu. I did not read the whole book, but I read part of it. Rather, I read part of it. Lakin, which means but or however, it is generally used with nafyun and serves the purpose of istidrak. Istidrak. This is another one of those words that is important. Istidrak, to rectify. Ma ja'ani Zaydun lakini Bakrun ja'a. Zayd did not come to me, but Bakr did. And we had three notes over here. If the ma'tufun alayh is a damir marfu muttasil, if it's damir marfu muttasil, then it's damir munfasil has to be mentioned after it. So in this was the example given here. Damir marfu muttasil, which is in case mustatirun huwa. Darabtu, and then you have to mention the equivalent of huwa, which is ana. Darabtu ana wa Zaydun. Zayd and I hit. However, if there is a word in between the ma'tuf and ma'tuf alayh, then you don't have to bring in the damir munfasilun. So if there if there is, you get the idea, another word that appears between the two. Okay. Number two, however, if the you did that. Okay. Darabtu yawma Zaydun ma ashrakna wa abana. And finally, if the ma'tuf and lay is preceded by harf jar, then the ma'tuf should also be preceded by harf jar, the same harf jar. Marartu bika wa bi Zaydin. I passed by you and by Zayd. And that was this section. And after a brief pause, I will go to the next section. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So the last topic in this chapter is about atful bayan, and this is on page 108 in my textbook, atful bayan. It is that tabe which clarifies or specifies the matbu. So here's a matbu and there's a tabe. It basically clarifies it or specifies the matbu. Okay, so the tab here and matbu here, so it just adds clarity to. So point number one was it is often a more famous name of the two. Okay, so Khama Abu Hafsin Umaru. Okay, so here Abu Hafs Umar stood. Okay, Abu Hafs is the name for Hazrat Umar, right? So Abu Hafs Umar stood up. Okay, so that's that. So in this case here, so this is bayan, this is atfu bayanun, okay, which is the tabe, okay, and this is called mubayyinun, mubay mubayyanun mubayyanun, okay, which is the matbu. Okay, it's the matbu. Okay, and this one is a mudaf ilayh construction. Okay, that's a mudaf ilayh construction. So tabi Umar is clarifying here. It is just clarifying which Abu Hafs you're talking about. Okay, the father of Hafs, and that is Umar, right? So the analysis of that would be, this is mudaf ilayh, which is the mubayyinun, and this is harfu atfu bayan, which is the tabi, and these two together here will be the fa'il of this particular fi'l over here. Fi'l and fa'il together will jumla fi'liya khabariya. Okay, so that's that. And then another example that's given over here. Okay, so let's just do another example. Ja'a Zaydun. Okay. Abu Amr. Okay, Abu Amr. Okay. Abu Amr Zayd came. Abu Amr Zayd came. Okay. So same scenario here. Okay. So Abu Amr, this is mudaf ilayh. Okay, and this is going to be what's being clarified, right? Okay, so this is going to be our bayan, atf bayan. Okay, that's the tabi, and this is going to be, of course, our mubayyanun, which is the matbu. That's the matbu. Okay, same scenario here. All right, so this is going to be the fi'l, and all of this is going to be the fa'il, and together with jumla fi'liya khabariya. Okay, and that concludes this chapter. Again, let's review this section here. Atful bayan, it is that tabi which clarifies, specifies the matbu. So the tabi just basically clarifies the matbu, and the tabi here is called atful bayan, and the matbu is called the mubayyanun. Okay, so it's usually the more famous of the two names. Khama Abu Hafsin Umar. So in this case, Umar is atful bayan, tabi bayan, and this is mubayyanun. Okay, so it's the bayan mubayyanun. Okay, and then here bayan and those are the examples. Zaydun Abu Amr. Okay, so that was that. And alhamdulillah, this completes all the five topics we talked about in tawabi, nat, man'ut, and ta'kid, and badal, and atfu biharfin, and atfu nasakhi, and atfu bayan. And that completes our chapter, inshallah. As-salatu wa salam wa sallallahu alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum.